Man, what's up, YouTube? What's up, world? This your man, Wall Street Rolling. Uh, Man, I was just talking to a neighbor of mine, so I said I'm gonna shoot you a quick little story. Hopefully my battery won't go dead. But me and him was rapping. It made me remind me of a story when I was in penitentiary. And at this time, so I'm gonna take y'all back. We're gonna walk back into SCDC. At this time, I'm at a prison called Northside, right? Northside is a level 1 camp, A camp, people that done did. A lot of people, you can go here when you got 8 years or less. So let me say it like that. If you got eight and a half years or less, you qualify to go Northside. No matter, I'm trying to think, do anything, as long as you ain't got no escapes or nothing like that, I think you can still qualify for Northside. I don't know, a lot of stuff they done start disqualifying you for, so could be. But now Northside's named Livesey 2. They got Livesey 1. That's like a pre-release, work release place. And it's like a lot of people who go Northside, some of them make it to Livesey 1, some of them just go home. This story here though, it's about two roommates, Clark and Flint. All right, like I said, I'm at Northside, and Northside is the unit that I was in was like for PR workers, that stand for prison industry. A lot of outside, well, a lot of people went on outside, but a lot of outside detail stayed in the unit, and a lot of older people that had been down for a while, and people, older people going home. So it was kind of like the honor dorm or the yard, because we was really the only dorm on the yard that had AC. So everybody wanted to be down in dorm 6. And plus dorm 6 was real neat. It was a newer dorm. You had cubicles, instead of just being in an open dorm, that like each cubicle had like 8-foot walls. And so you had a lot of privacy being in there, even though you was in like an open unit, but they had the walls, so it really made you like you was in cells just without doors. Excuse me. So this story here, like I said, is about Clark and Flint. Now let me give y'all a little bit on the description of Clark. All right, Clark was about, I'm 6'2", so I say Clark probably was about 6'4", maybe 6'3", 6'4", a little bit taller than me. Kind of husky guy, not too husky, but and he was real red. So and he had one big tooth, like the cartoon character Gargamel in the front. So we used to call him Gargamel. He used to hate that name. But he used to call him Gargamel. And so his roommate Flint, Flint was probably, both of these guys at the time, I was like 32. So Flint probably was around 45 and Clark probably 45, both of them between 45 and 50. Two older dudes, best of buddies, great roommates, got along fine. Talking about got along fine. So every day, Clark will wake Flint up for breakfast. Every day, like clockwork. They cut the lights on in the unit probably around 5:45. Clark get up, but he'll been up already and went, did all this stuff, getting ready for breakfast, and then he'll come back and wake Flint up. Like when they say child in 5 minutes on the intercom, or maybe 10 minutes, he'll wake Flint up. Flint will go brush his teeth. A lot of times he'll just get out the bed straight, go. You had a lot of them used to do that. I used to call them roll ready. I told them they might well sleep with their boots on. So as soon as they call a child, they just take off. Some of them actually do sleep with their boots on. And any other prison storytellers probably got stories about people that actually slept with their boots on. So definitely when I've been in places, people don't sleep with their boots on for multiple reasons, not just for being ready to go with child, just for multiple reasons, depending on what yard and what unit you in. You know what I mean? No bragging or nothing, because to the youth, if I could tell you anything, and I be telling the youth that I mentor out here, this is what I tell them: man, don't go for that hype. Them big dudes cry at night when they get in that cell. I know. I've been in the cell with them big dudes. Big, murderers, all type of line. When I, at this place that I'm talking about right here, my roommate, God bless you, I hope you're still alive. he had did 27 and a half for a body. So, you know, I done had multiple, I mean, just some of the prison I've been, you just gonna run into your roommate gonna be all type of stuff. Only thing I ain't gonna lie, I remember, I got a story about this, and I'm gonna tell this story one day about when I had a Chomo as a roommate for like, probably about 2 weeks he was in the room with me. Yeah. But got a story on that. But anyway, let me get to this story real quick. So like I tell y'all, Clark wake Flint up every morning for breakfast. So this morning here, you know what I'm saying? So this one morning here we get back, you know, we get up, you know, like regular. You know what I mean? They call child. Clark, don't wait. Okay, Clark didn't wake Flint up this morning for child. For what reason? I don't know. Like I say, they were the best friends. They always got along. There was never no problems. So I totally don't know why Clark didn't wake Flint up for child this morning. Okay, but however, he go to child, he come back. We all, you know, he go to child, he come back. So now it's like, okay, they got a roll call count at 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock, you know, everybody got to stand up, put your ID beside your face. They gonna come around, play with your intelligence, and ask you your last name. Like I had one. This one I knew they was playing mind games. I had a CO come up to me and say my last name, and say, call me by my last name, and ask me what's my name and number. And I told the CO, you playing mind games. How in the world you gonna come to me and ask me my name, and then say what is your name and number? And you honestly expect for me to answer you? See, no matter where I was at, and anybody who know me and did time with me, they'll tell you, I wasn't one of them guys that, I'm gonna tell you what I wasn't. I wasn't in the game. That means I wasn't running around masturbating off of women. I wasn't into that. I wasn't with no homosexuality. I wasn't no punk. I don't mean homosexual when I say punk. I ain't talking about homosexual. I'm talking about I wasn't no pushover. I wasn't nobody that was getting their canteen and took and stored and couldn't order their new shoes, all the stuff. Because I seen a lot of stuff happen to people and I wasn't no Billy Badass. I wasn't no tough guy. I wasn't none of that. I was just me. I promise you, I was just me. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I wasn't into nothing. I wasn't no one that was in CO faces all the time. I was kind of a stand-up guy for people that really didn't have a voice or didn't have the courage to speak their voice. That's really who I am. That's really who I was, y'all. Pardon me, man. People across the street from me getting DoorDash, so it kind of like the truck. Sorry about that. But that's who I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, back to this. So we put so they come by. So when they call 10 minutes of roll call count, Flint hear it and hop up and say, man, what happened on the yard that we ain't went to breakfast yet? So I'm like, man, they been went to breakfast, because I ain't really go to breakfast too much. I was more of an oatmeal man. I ain't got time. And then they start, okay, first they used to have the real grits, and then they went to the grits that SCDC make with the bugs in them. So I ain't really one for getting up every day going eat no grits with no bugs in them. I ain't lying. Anybody been there know them grits had plenty of bugs in them. That's just facts. Them yellow corn grits off the farm down there at Watery had plenty of bugs in them. How you doing, man? Yeah, so he say, man, I say, no, they all right. They been went to breakfast. So now Clark walking up to the cube. But like I said, you gotta be standing beside your cube, like each inmate is standing on one side of the wall and say your name and number. Okay, so Clark, he come back to the room. So Flint say, man, why you ain't wake me up for breakfast? And Clark looked him dead in the face and said, matter of fact, Flint said, man, why you ain't waiting for breakfast, man? You know I was hungry. Flint told him, said, man, if your stomach didn't wake you up, you wasn't hungry. He said, ain't no way I gotta wake you up. He said, if you was that hungry, your stomach would have woke you up. And I just wanted to share that little story real quick. About to go back in here and do some more work. You know what I'm saying? Progress. But that's my point. The more that I want to get to in this is that a lot of people have drives and ambitions and goals, but they looking for somebody else to push them into what they want. If your stomach don't wake you up, you ain't hungry. Peace.